Hello. Today, doing something a little different. Something that I'm still pretty passionate about. Something I've always, I'm a big music fan, and since I'm a big music fan, I decided I want to do those funny little tier list rankings. Got inspired from that by the Melon Man himself. Oh, and also y'all want to see a little cat, a little extra cat action. Lulu, say hi. Gorgeous cat. Um, I don't know if you're supposed to kiss a cat. My mom gets mad at me whenever I do that. No, Lulu, I can't give you too many pets. Um, but in any case, um, I wanted to say, I was inspired by the Dylan Corner to do this because he did the Frank Zappa ranking. And I love Frank Zappa too, and I thought, I could do a Lil B ranking because I mean, Lil B's discography is not too like is not less daunting. I mean, it kind of is because Lil B's albums usually run much longer than Zap albums. But round lengthwise of number of albums, it's kind of similar. And not all the Lil B albums so far made will be on this list, um, because you can't count some of the stuff made after this list, like Africantus or Bitch Mob the album or the Gotham City. I forgot what it was called. No, Call of Duty Task Force. But I will still be ranking them. I'll just say what placement they would be at. So without further ado, let's get started with, and we're just gonna go this way because it's just easy that way. So we're gonna start with actually one of my favorite Lil B tapes. Such a good tape. It is actually mind blowing. One of the best projects in 2013. We have '05 Fuck 'em. That is top tier. It has some of his best songs like God of Rap. Let me go. This is sometimes I will be on my phone just to get information. So it has some amazing songs on the album that For My, which is one of my favorite like very poppy Lil B songs. A song that kind of sounds. In fact, there's a clean radio edit later on the album. But For My is still good. Very catchy. Going Platinum is pretty fun song. Lil B's Layer, that's a very big sounding album. Almost sounds kind of like a what's that genre called? Lil B's Witch House. Almost kind of sounds witch housey with those big haunting synths and like Lil B's kind of darker approach on rapping. God of Rap is insane. Such a crazy song. The three beats, how different the three beats are. Like the last one kind of being like a like kind of this rock one. The first one being like this ambient like art rock thing, and then the second one being like this very synthy landscape sounds. It's such a insane song. It's not the best song to start with Lil B because it's a 10-minute long song, but it is really good. Um, what else? Praying for a Brick. That one is super good. Got the orchestral samples, the kind of really sporadic drums, and Lil B's screaming delivery. That's really just crazy. Rip Kennedy has a pretty beautiful instrumental. Licks and Duct Tape and Strong Arm are fun. Where is it? Landlord is really crazy. It almost has this industrial dark beat. It's really crazy. By the way, there are 100 songs on this album. So it might be a little long for me to go on this album, but this is easily one of my favorite Lil B projects. It's like 2013 was such a good year. I'll talk about 2013, different video. People Like Me is such a beautiful song. That guitar sample, that kind of classic boom bappy beat, so good. The singing at the end, sure, it's a Lil B singing, which is kind of funny to most people, but that really kind of just adds to that beautifulness. It's a great tape. Free Bands is crazy, really sporadic and weird beat. I can't really say too much of Free Bands. I just know it's really crazy. Insurance is such a weird one. It has this very kind of like like almost like an Indian sample. I don't know. I'm not good with regions. If what I said is stupid, I probably know. but it has this weird sample, these like hand drums in the background, and then this like G-funk synth in it, and he has this weird like accented singing. Such a weird song. BGYC, basedgod, you can fuck my bitch. That's kind of funny because he uses the Travis Scott instrumental upper echelon, but it's like distorted, so it almost sounds like a meme. Basedgod, you can fuck my bitch. It's funny. It's good though. One Night in Florida is weird. It has like this tropical vibe. A Miss Skr is one of the weirder songs. It's very, I don't even know. I'm the Rap God is really interesting because it's a metal Lil B song. He uses the System of a Down song Toxicity and raps over it. And it works pretty damn well. Act Right is one of my favorite Lil B cloud rap songs. It is a dark instrumental. Lulu, I'm sorry, Lulu. I'm sorry, I'm making a video. It's a very dark instrumental. Just sounds really good, almost like glitchy at some parts. Lil B's delivery is really more understated. And sometimes I'll talk about Lil B lyrics, but overall, when I listen to Lil B, it's more about the vibe. But when I get to some of his more lyrical work, which Oh Five Fuck 'Em has a bunch of lyrical work. It's not just I usually find the highlights in this album to be sometimes with production, just sometimes like when Lil B's screaming on like really loud beats, like on Praying for a Brick, and I'm the Rap God. Let's see. Built to Survive almost has like this kind of synth poppy thing. There's a lot of chipmunk soul in this. Now, talking about the lyrics, Beat the Hoe Up is really interesting because it has like this fun chipmunk soul beat. It almost makes you want to like, it almost sounds really happy. And it's talking about wanting to beat women up who want you to pay child support, which is funny. I actually do find that it's a really fucking insane song to make. Yeah, it's a... And also the song before it, Gotta Go in Platinum, is kind of similar to Praying for a Brick with this operatic vocal. It's like, I'm gonna go platinum. Which, I mean, it's very weird, but very fun. Looking for more. Homeless on Crack, I remember being pretty good. The title track kind of is like Act Right, and that's very ambient, very cloud rappy, almost a little glitchy. Due to Basedgod, I remember it's kind of like EDM-y. Kurt Angle is kind of like if you took all Lil B's swag rap, like distorted swag rap, put down into one little like song that is just so insanely weird. And there are some songs that are remixes of other people's songs that Lil B are on, so I guess they're still Lil B songs, but I don't really think about them that much. They're not as creative as a lot of Lil B songs because Lil B does like any idea that comes to his head, which is amazing. Texas or Florida, another one of the kind of rock instrumentals, based on what I remember. Hadouken is one of the weirdest songs from Lil B. Like it's constantly uses vocal sample. Kind of reminds me of the way you use vocal samples of the Tachyon. It's like Hadouken, but like Lil B is doing it. And it's weird. It's weird. And over this kind of glitchy cloud rap instrumental, which doesn't even feel hip hop at all. Also, his cat, Kiki, is on it. Just the beginning, getting some nice little purrs. Lulu, can you give some purrs to the camera? She's licking herself right now. And O5 Out is kind of like a very grand outro. That is pretty nice. Made beat. I'm pretty sure Keyboard Kid makes that beat. Shout out Keyboard Kid. A lot of Lil B's best instrumentals do come from Keyboard Kid, and I really respect them. So I took a lot of time on O5 Fuck 'Em, but that's because this thing is like gargantuan. It is insane. It is really filled. Like even though it has 100 songs, it's hard to find like some filler songs, which is insane, and it's full of the brim with highlight. I think just the worst songs on it are just the ones that aren't Lil B songs. But yeah, it's a really good album. So next we have Number One Bitch, which is fine. There a lot of Lil B albums can just run to basic of, oh, he's just doing a bunch of bangers, putting them together with some creative like weird detours. It's one of that. Actually, I'll just put it in excels in a single category. It's fine. I will say though, 100% Gutta, I originally thought would fall into this, but it does not. It is raw. It is distorted. It's kind of edgy. It is really over the top, and I do really like it. It has some of his best songs, and For Me is one of his funniest songs, and just funniest songs. Like over that Rihanna song, the music video is fire too. But yeah, it's fine. Fine. Sorry, no, it's great. I do really like 100% Gutta. 28 with a ladder, mid. One of his 2018 to like 2020, 2021 stuff maybe. Very mediocre. Not really trying to do stuff that really is going overboard. It feels like, he's kind of doing like just leftovers of just beats he created, for the fun of it, which I respect, but nothing really too creative. Although this song does have the Cowboys Riding with Illinois, which is so good. It is like a country hip hop combination, very catchy. He shouts out Death Grips and the KKK on that song, which is fucking insane. I do love me some Death Grips though, and I'll talk about them in the future. But even though we were on a bit of a low streak, even though 100% Gutta was pretty damn good, we're going back to Ultimate Based. We're going back to, like, Ultimate Based Rare Collectible with Six Kiss. If you're a Lil B fan, this is like, going back to Frank Zappa, this is like what Apostrophe was to Frank Zappa, Six Kisses to Lil B. If you know a Lil B mixtape, it's Six Kiss. It is defining, has some of his biggest songs like I'm God, Birth of Rap, has some of my favorite songs from him, Pretty Bitch, I Got Bitches, which has this beautiful synth melody. Some of his most creative songs, let me go to that album, because there's some specific songs I do really want to shout out. Many specific songs, actually, that I do really enjoy off that album. Yeah. So Birth of Rap might be the best Lil B opener. The rapping on that, he's so confident, and he sounds like he's coming into the game and just being like, I'm here, this is what I stand for, and I feel like this is great, because this was basically Lil B's introduction. It wasn't his first stuff. It wasn't even his first hit, per se, if we don't count Vans. If we do count Vans, even though that's a Pac song, not really a Lil B song. But this was, this is not the first Lil B hit. That'd probably be I'm God. But this was the first song on the album, and this was the first mixtape that Lil B put out that was successful, because I'm Thrax didn't do too well. And God is this a fucking amazing intro. I like it more than I'm God. It has this building instrumental that, like, doesn't have many drums, but with different drum parts that kind of get taken out. Like, there's a hi-hat, then it goes into a kick, then a kick and a snare, and then gone, then back to the kick, then kick and hi-hat, and then no drums for that last little part. It is crazy. I'm God. I don't even need to say anything about I'm God. If you like Lil B, that's probably your introduction. Was my introduction. Beautiful song. Kind of similar to Birth of Rap with the Imagine Heap sample. Walk the World, amazing Chipmunk Soul with a great message, and a very good, like, chorus with some good bass. I like the hand claps on the chorus. I like the little hand percussion that comes in right before the chorus. Take the drums out. The nice kick and clap rhythm snare rhythm. Is really good. It's fun. Beat the Odds is nice, kind of simple instrumentally, but very good message. Based is nice, very unique instrumental with these, like, almost cicada buzzing noises, but it's still really good. Real Plex, probably my least favorite on the album. It's good, but it's nothing special, a little long. Let the Eagles Go is like a get high anthem with this beautiful cloud rap instrumental made by Keyboard Kid. Keyboard Kid also made the beats for, I'm pretty sure, Walk the World and Based. And maybe Beat the Odds. He makes a lot of beats on this record that are fire. But Let the Eagles Go is great. Riding for my fellas, I'm not going to say that word, is very good. Very weird instrumentally. It has, like, these orchestral bits, these bits that, like, this, like, vocal sample, that's an Imagine Heap sample, but used very differently from, like, Birth of Rap and I'm God, with this, like almost kind of like guitar-y synth that comes in when the Imagine Heap sample, and then it comes out, and, like, these orchestral elements come in, taken away, go back to the chorus, and then there's a little outro, really weird song. MySpace, good song, like, has almost a boom-bappy beat, with a nice cloud rap sample, and Lil B spitting on it. what I mean is really cool. It's not the greatest. It's more minimalistic, kind of taking more ballad approach. Pretty distorted for some reason. But there's like a parts where the sample bring in strings that are really beautiful. I Want Your Bitch is like an EDM thing, and on the chorus it gets a breakbeat in, and he's really horny on that song. It's really good. Um, All Alone, really weird, almost glitchy kind of cloud rap instrumental, very unique. Pretty Bitch, which is similar to a song off I'm Thrax, which I'm gonna both show love for. Great songs, really great songs. I can't really say too much about them other than they're just bangers. They're these big, giant, confident, catchy. I wouldn't say maybe clever, but very confident. Um, just fun. Finna Hit a Lick, a lot of people favorites. Not my favorite, but it definitely has a nice slap beat, snap beat. Got a nice fat kick. And it's fun. It's catchy. I'm the Devil is beautiful, kind of. The last two songs on the main part are both Clams Casino produced, and they're great. I'm the Devil is much sadder. It's darker. It almost sounds evil. And what you doing? Sorry, I was gonna say what I mean, but that's a different thing. What you doing? Almost sounds like you're at the top of the mountain with one of my favorite Lil B choruses. With this beautiful synth melody that goes in. I'm high as fuck. Yeah, no, that chorus is great. Oh My God 66 sounds like the horniest and weirdest 80s song. I Got Bitches, I talked about that before. We Ride and Scraper is weird. Very bass heavy, so play it in your car. It sounds good in the car. Even Lil B says it's good in the car. X-Men is a banger. Sounds like something that could have been off Everything Based or Hoop Life, to be honest. Smoke Trees, Fuck Hoes, pretty simple banger at the end, but really good, really catchy. So yeah, it's a good project. I don't know what more to say, or it's an amazing project, like no skips. Even though I said Real Plex is my least favorite, I wouldn't call that a skip. I'd just say it's a fine song. This video is gonna be pretty fucking long, huh? I don't care. This is for the basedgod fans, and you can just skip throughout the video to whatever album you want to see. I don't really care. I'm not gonna torture you with Lil B knowledge. I'm trying to find Angel's Exodus because it's another one of the Lil B projects that I have a good amount to say on the songs. Because you're gonna notice that a lot of the shorter Lil B songs, I'll be able to say more about the songs. Probably because it's a little difficult to navigate through very long albums, but this one, I'm pretty sure is an album, not a tape. That's what Wikipedia says. Rate Your Music that says it's a mixtape, though. But this one is not on the same level as the other two, but it is really good. Exhibit 6 is very dark, haunting. This entire album is very dark, and it's almost a concept album the way he's talking about vampires and zombies. And it's pretty fun. Life's a Zombie has this weird sample that is going throughout the song. It's a pretty minimalistic song. It's good. It's a good song. A lot of these songs are really good. All My Life is like this beautiful remix. All My Life remix is kind of this beautiful, again, kind of 80s sounding songs. It's nice. I do really like it. Bayer music is like ambient, glitchy electronics thing. It's really weird. Motivation, really, really good cloud rap. I would say it's one of Lil B's best cloud rap songs. Very big, very haunting beat, kind of distorted, fuzzy. Almost sounds like I'm the Devil, but even more like punchier. Cold War Part 2, not as good as Part 1. Still good. Nice way of using the sample, kind of paying homage to the original Cold War. Vampires is kind of also like All My Life remix. It kind of sounds like an 80s song, but this one's more rock with like this guitar sample, and it's a very good song. I do really like Vampires. More Silence, More Coffin. I find it hard to take seriously because the first few seconds is how can I feel this in the night? That band Can't Wake Up. Can't Wake Up. Evanescence. Has the Evanescence sample in the beginning, and it is goofy. Sounds like a TikTok song in the beginning because it's sped up and like higher pitch, so it feels like a meme. So it's hard to take seriously, but I guess it's fine otherwise. Connect the Dots, I don't really remember too much. One Time is really cool, because if you're a Travis Scott fan, talked about Travis Scott before, SDP Interlude, there's no way it's not paying homage to Lil B, because this came out a good amount before Birds in the Trap. Birds in the Trap came out 2016, this came out 2011, and it uses the exact same sample of the, like that vocal sample, in the exact same way, but in more of a hip-hopper song. I would say SDP Interlude is more of a, or extended version if you want, is more of like an art poppy song with trap elements. There's more hip-hop, but yeah, there's no way Lil B... Travis Scott didn't pay homage to Lil B, because Lil B's so influential. The Growth, Frankie Silver are both nice tracks at the end. Frankie Silver is really cool because it has Lil B spitting with some good bars over this nice boom bap beat with these nice fun drums, so it's good. So yeah, that's Angels Exodus. It's a good album. It's a really good album, but and I think I'm going to put it in solid, because I feel like it's on the same level 100% Gut. Because 100% Gut has higher highs, I would say. What the hell? Yeah, has higher highs, like, for me. And that interlude thing is really cool on that album. But in any case, Bass Jam, that's going to go somebody's favorite. It's a fun album. It's a really fun album. And really kind of nice sounding. Like, puts a good amount of reverb in a lot of the instrumentals. Kind of... with some really good songs, some like almost ballad type songs, and then some bangers. Otherwise, it's nice. This one, Basedgod Valley, is nice. It's just, boom bap stuff with him spitting, like much more lyrical focus, but I think could have been better, to be honest. And he does do better. He does have better albums. I forgot what this one's called. Bass World Paradise. Okay, yeah, so it's Bass World Paradise, kind of similar to Bass Jam. Actually, I'd put it lower because there's not as much entertaining parts. This one, Bitch Mob, is kind of forgettable. Kind of sounds like Dedication style beats, like kind of like with that classic kind of southern hip hop. Kind of more low. It's fine. There's not many tracks I really take up. Like that track with the cowbell. Forgot what it's called, but that's nice. And also Stick Talk. Stick Talk is such a banger. Almost sounds like a Future song for some reason. But it bangs. Almost sounds like a... did I say Stick Talk? Stick Talk is a Future song. Sorry. I mean Still Cooking. Still Cooking. Sorry. Because I get Still Cooking. Because Still Cooking reminds me of Stick Talk. Black Flame is a nice album. I don't have too much to say. It's a good album from the Black Flame series. Black Ken, pretty top tier. Best mixed Lil B album. Sounds really good. G-Funk inspired songs. Some of his most memorable songs, like, goes into really weird territories. Let me find it. Yeah, Still Run It. One of my favorite Lil B openers if you don't count the intro. It has like a really great big G-funky thing with a really cool sampling. What's Up Joja is really catchy. I love the synth on it. I love the bass on it. Berkeley is really cool. The bass on it is so heavy. Great in the car. Great scratches too. Free Life, really weird jazz rap, kind of with like this bass line that is really like big, kind of goofy, but it's really cool. And I love the saxophone on it. Young N-Words, good song, very electro. I love the synths on that, especially the bassier synths. God, because they're kind of different bassier synths on it, which are ones that kind of sounds really crunchy, and then there's one that's like doom, very nice. Getting Hot, kind of similar to that, just good. I like the kick on it. Go Stupid, Go Dumb sounds like it should be like a hip house song, especially given there's 4 on the floor kick like right in the beginning, but then it takes out and there's no kick in the song. Kind of wish it was a hip house song. I think that would give it a nice rhythm, but it's still very good. Kind of electro, like the other ones before. Very nice. Global is like trap with these big synths, and it's really cool. Nice feature too. Ride, Hole Up is kind of like G-funky. Too gets kind of funky on the chorus, like that high pitch synth. It's very low key. Zambose, his first go into like Latin rap, very weird, but very good. Again, the mixing on this album, I can't stress enough how good it sounds. The bass is heavy. The highs are nice and crisp. Really good mixing on this album, which he did all the production on this album too, which is a plus. I will say, on a lot of Lil B albums, I'll talk about this more in Blue Flame, because I feel like that I have a more problem with than most albums, even though I love Blue Flame, and it probably will still be in Ultimate Bass, but I will talk about it, or maybe it'll be probably next to Black Can, actually. But the instrumentals can be simple sometimes, where it feels like it doesn't go into different segments. That's a problem with a lot of Lil B's music, and I feel like it's because he puts out so much music, and Blue Flame is literally the next one. But yeah, no, Black Ken is really good. There's some other songs. I'm probably forgetting one. One of them's like a pop song, Turn It Up Till You Can't No More. Great auto-tune, great percussion, nice chorus, very nice. Ain't Me is super weird, has like this guitar thing. Raw is fine. Raw's probably my least favorite on the record. West Coast is nice. The West Coast has some nice bars too, sad lyrics. The Real is Back, great production, great percussion. Ross Rapper Alive is almost like industrial. It would just take away the distortion. Very dark, very grimy. DJ Bradstreet's is pretty beautiful with those orchestral string samples. That's nice. Rare Art, one of his weirdest songs with the goopiest sense imaginable. It's not one of his weirdest songs because the mixing is good. But yeah, no, I do really like that album, that project. Very fun. And Lil B called it his first official mixtape. And it was hyped up for a long time, and it was very different from what it was supposed to be. But I think it's worth it because it made itself a much more unique album than what it would have been if it was like those hype. But I wish he could have put like 2 Black Cans, like what the original version was like, and then what the version it came out to be like, because I feel like that would be interesting. Not a lot of people do that. It sounds like something Lil B would do. Lil B seems like the type of person that would drop 2 projects that have the exact same name. Just seems like something he would do. Blue Flame. Yeah, Blue Flame is next. That is a Lil B classic. It has his punchiest, funnest production. Such a good tape. Some Lil B classics. The opener, produced by him, the opener, is such a banger. Fun to play in the car. Rich Ho, Lil B classic. I'm Him, Lil B classic. Cold War, Lil B classic. The Trap, one of his best lyrical songs. Basedgod, one of his funnest, and like shit, I'm not this short, it's just I'm on some steps right now. It's a very weird setting. I just wanted this goddamn background to look like this. That's why I'm sitting on here. Bass Battle is probably my least favorite track, and I'll talk about it why, because it does represent a good amount of the problems on this mixtape. Wonton Soup, Lil B classic. Shoot a Gun, industrial as all hell, and loud, and that intro skit is great. Free Lil Wayne, Manny Fresh beat, and a very good Manny Fresh beat with a very nice bass. Like Me, art poppy, ambient, nice toms, kind of R&B. Sounds like he's trying to do like a sex thing. I don't know if it's the best song to play in the bedroom because Lil B singing, but it is fun. I'm Burning, Lil B classic, cloud rap, beautiful. Life's a Bitch, fun. Boom bap, kind of more lyrical. New Orleans bass freestyle, very fun. Kind of has that southern hip hop thing, especially with that snare, kind of like a snare Manny Fresh would use. I'm Paris Hilton, Lil B classic. Mel Gibson, Lil B classic. Princess Freestyle Part 1, which is different on streaming services than it is in the mixtape version. Very weird. Sounds like he just recorded it on a phone on a different room from where it was, like on speakers. So it sounds very weird, but it's fun. Blue Flame remix, one of his best boom bappy serious songs. Great production, very good kick. Dem Bass God kind of has a dark wave beat, almost industrial, very weird. He puts on an accent. Very minimalistic, that song. And Goodbye, one of his best outros. Very beautiful. So, some of his best lyrics, you can still buy all the clothes, but you're still gonna be cold, is such a good line and such a great sample. But I'm sucking this album's dick a lot. Why do I have a problem with it? Well, it really just comes down to the fact the mixing is very bad. And it's a shame because the mixing is very thin, very lo-fi, very quiet. especially on the bass Bible. That song is so quiet, you can only listen to the car because you can blow up the speakers in the car. So that really sucks. It really takes away. And also the instrumentals are very simple. Like Free Lil Wayne, like it's just a looped instrumental. We'll be rapping over it. So and same with Like Me. For the most part, the trap. I can't say Blue Flame, the first track, because it does take away parts, bring back parts, so it is kind of that. Shoot a Gun, yeah, it's basically just, other than the intro, it's basically just a loop on repeat. So yeah, Dem basedgod also kind of like a loop on repeat. So, I'm not going to suck this album's dick too much, because it does have a major flaw. And by the way, this isn't like a nerd speaking of, like, oh, the mixing. Like, this is like genuinely, the mixing is so bad, like anybody listening it could realize, oh, wow, this is lo-fi, to say the least. So, yeah, but it's still a basedgod classic with some of his punchiest production. I do love the production on this. I come back to it a lot. Blue Flame is really good. Crime Fetish is pretty high up. It's very creative. Still twerking like that. What's that song with that duh, 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 like sample with the like the almost like drummy kind of like EDM production. Earthquake is really weird, very big. But shake your ass like an earthquake. It's a very weird song. You can't really play in front of your mom. Some classic Lil B bangers. I'll say the intro. Kind of is compared to a lot of his other stuff, but it's still really good. I do really like it. Red Flame Devil Music Edition, very overhated Lil B album. It's probably his saddest record, and it really is sad with some classic boom bap production. Some really, really stellar production though. Like the first song, I love when like it becomes big. And second track, there's almost a track that sounds kind of like an MF Doom one. I think the third track. Yeah, it's a good one, Red Flame Evil Music Edition. And also there's one where he's going over J Electronica beats a segment of a beat because the J Electronica song is much longer. Everything Bass, S. It does have some mixing problems like Blue Flame, but I'm not gonna kid you. This might be my favorite Lil B tape. There is one Lil B. No, this is my favorite Lil B tape. I don't know if it's my favorite Lil B project, but let me just go with the songs on here. Rich Bitch, fucking insane, super loud, sounds like something off Almighty So. This came much before Almighty So. Pretty Boy, similar, but bass heavier, and also I would say catchier even. Cook Steak Knife, much more minimalistic with this industrial beat. Everything bass, kind of like the first two. Wonton Soup, amazing sample, Lil B classic. Cook My Bitch, fun, weird, and it's just weird. Cooking Dance also has like this really cool vocal sampling, has this big part, like also still minimalistic though. Insane, big, industrial, catchy, Lil B classic. All I Know, amazing. It has Soulja Boy and Waka Flocka, and Soulja Boy appears 3 times on the album, and it's great all the time. And Waka Flocka gives one of his best hooks. All I know. Yeah, super good. Suck My Dick Ho, Lil B classic. I Got Bitches, amazing. He's going over like a Michael Jackson instrumental, and it's super fun, and he's doing like that sexy thing, but it's just super fun. The Summer, one of the best Manny Fresh beats. Manny Fresh produced on that, and it's so good, so catchy. The chorus is one of my favorite choruses of all time. Violate That Bitch has like almost like a digi-core aesthetic. It's edgy, it's big, it's distorted, it's fun. T-shirt and Buttons, like top 3 diss tracks of all time. And Like a Martian, my favorite song off the album, is probably my favorite banger of all time, like a song that really bangs. Yeah, this one goes hard. Yeah, every song on the album is amazing. Okay, so Red Flame, Red Flame Evil Edition. Sorry, this isn't Red Flame Evil Devil Music Edition. This is just Devil Music Edition. I forgot. Red Flame. It's good. It's really good. I don't want to say too much. It's very diverse. It's fun. It kind of reminds me of the Dedication style beats, but much weirder. Not gonna say. This one's fine. I don't really have too much to say about this one. Glass Face feels just like a neutered version of Angel's Exodus. So actually, I'll put it down here. There's like almost no songs I come back to on it. God's Father. God, and I'm getting tired of saying all the good things, but if you want classic boom bap, like covering all your bases for hip hop, some really great production, much cleaner. It's one of his best sounding records. Just really fun. Some of the most beautiful music. Really vibey. Very grand. And also, I Love You is the best song of all time. Goldust. This one's low. This one will rank low. This might be my least favorite Lil B project, which is funny because this might be his shortest. And it's like, but this is like not that good. Like, it's just, the production quality is crap. All of it is like, well, not all of it, but there's a lot of the singing cuts which just don't hit because of how bad the production and mixing is. Gold House, this one kind of is that. It has some fun songs. It's a fun album. Green Flame, also a fun album, but kind of forgettable. Halloween, H2O, is very dark. It's almost like horrorcore in a way, very Halloween-y. Dark beats. The first, like, some Witch House stuff, like especially the first one, very nice. Hoop Life. Oh my God, it's getting tired talking about all these S's. I mean, they're so good. Hoop Life is like one of his few concept records. Concept is great, like him going through the NBA, what it's like, the experience, some of his best production. It kind of takes my problems Blue Flame, makes it better because the mixing is better. It's just as punchy though. Some sadder songs, some more fun songs, some weird like detours, genre defying. It's amazing. Real Based has the Tracy Chapman sample. Pass the Ball has like 2 producers on instead of 1, and you can tell because they're different segments. Very catchy. Some of the trap beats are very like sporadic, like the second song and the one with the cheerleaders. Cheerleaders wanna fuck me. I forgot the chorus. I've been forgetting a lot of the choruses. I know when I try singing. Yeah, but no, this is great. I'd listen to it. And Illusions of Grandeur. That one's top tier. I don't have much to say about it. Just it's much shorter, it's slimmer, but it has basically everything you'd want from a Lil B project, but much more serious and more emotional. Illusions of Grandeur 2 is kind of just a neutered version, but it's still pretty good too. I'm Gay. It's like if you made To Pimp a Butterfly Lil B-ified, and has that classic production combined with like classic boom bap production combined with like boom bappy stuff. Trapped in Prison is such a unique intro. I Hate Myself, probably the best Keyboard Kid beat. Game, such a good song with really cool chorus sampling and just some really cool lyrics. This is his best album lyrically, other than Rain in England, which we will talk about. And yeah, it's so good. Anthrax, high up there too, really high up there. By the way, I'm probably gonna review each album individually at some point because I feel like a lot of these albums I am skimming over. Like, I could have talked about God's Father, Hoop Life, I'm Gay, and Anthrax much more. But Anthrax is like the inception point a little bit. Has some like EDM-y tracks. My Last Call, such a beautiful, almost has that 80s thing that I said like the 2 songs on Angel Exodus have. It's much darker, much angrier, but it works. And it's like a little bit inception point. MF Based, it's fine. It's like mixed like Goldust, just with better songs, some MF Doom worship, and I like MF Doom, so I'm not really complaining. Christmas EP, also like Goldust, just better songs, much rappier, funner, almost jolly. This one is good. It is really good. Obama Basedgod, much more lyrical, passionate, but not a lot of songs I go back to. This Options is cool. It feels like him trying to catch up with the modern time because there are a lot of beats that feel like modern stuff that he's like going to, like a lot of remixes that are cool, some self-produced stuff, which are nice. Pink Flame is great. Just a classic Lil B record that gets kind of underlooked, but it's really just fun, really good, and just really good. Really, really good. Platinum Flame, kind of I'd put it that it's like a neutered Black Flame, but only goes for one sound. One of the few Lil B albums that go for like one sound only, and kind of is yeah. This is the collaboration with Soulja Boy, and it's nice. I don't really have much more to say about it. Pretty Young Thug, it's nice. Yeah, no, it's nice. I don't go back to it a lot. Rain in England, one of the weirdest albums of all time, might be my favorite album of all time. It's like drumless ambient philosophy rap that is very beautiful. I'm gonna review it in its own review one day because it deserves it. My favorite Lil B album, not the first one you should listen to, but it is beautiful and genius and beautiful and genius. It sounds like you're in heaven. Evil Red Flame, kind of overrated. Not Evil Red, just Red Flame. Very overrated, Lil B tape. People say, oh, this is my favorite Lil B. No, it's not. It's just much more forgettable. Blue Flame. It's just a much more forgettable Blue Flame. Rich After Taxes. Hell, I think Rich After Taxes is like on the same level, to be honest. I might put both of them a little lower. Nah, okay. Rich After Taxes is not as good, but because it's not as much of a Lil B classic, but Red Flame is nothing too big, I'd say. Sound President feels like he's taking himself seriously over some Kanye-inspired beats, which is really nice. Task Force, industrial, creative, diverse, much more industrial, much louder record than a lot of his stuff, but still beautiful in its own way. This is him like trying to do a Jay-Z thing. It goes over decently well. This one is cool, very long, 60 tracks, but it's fine for the most part. Much more aggressive, just not a lot of musical detours that I'm really excited about. Ultimate Bitch, amazing record, amazing, top tier. It is beautiful, sounds great. Gucci Shotgun has one of the best Chipmunk soul beats. What's that one with the acoustic guitar, like the R&B one at the near the end, is so good. Some bangers, but it's not too focused on like trying to take itself too seriously, but it's good, and it sounds like the album cover. Very glistening, very glowy, and very fun, and very southern kind of inspired, even though Lil B's from California. I forgot this name, but it's not fun. It has some good songs. It's kind of like this one, I would say, and not because like I think it's something to do with cold. I forgot what it's called. This one is fine. It's unique. This one, and this one, and this one I all put in similar categories because the mixing is like the worst mix. But it's like this, but again with better songs. It's much more similar to this than the other two. Has a lot of MF Doom worship with kind of like a much more lo-fi Rain in England beat in the beginning. White Flame, pretty high up, because it's fun. It's like Blue Flame, just with less classic Lil B songs, but much more well-produced. Free music, I don't really care. It's a compilation album. This one I'll also rank. It's like Everything Bass, but much darker, much even more distorted, and just grimier. So you might be into it. Now, for Lil B albums that are not on this list. So I think the latest album on this is 28 with a Ladder. So we're going to go from there. Hunchback of Basedgod. That one is actually might be somebody's favorite album. It is a very diverse album with some, much more poppier, much cleaner production. Sounds like a rapper that is still very weird, but like trying to hop on trendier beats. It's just a little long. Loyalty Cast it would go in mid or meets requirements. It's very just okay, very bland. Same with 30 and a Hammer. 30 and a Hammer would be that. I don't think there's necessarily a bad Lil B album because I've never listened to a Lil B song that I thought was bad. But it's just too long for its own good and too forgettable. A lot of forgettable tracks on that. Nothing I really take out. Trap Oz has some really weird musical detours, mainly instrumental. I put in somebody's favorite album because it is a fun album. And I'm Kanye is one of his best intros. It's one of his best beats he's produced when the guitars come in, the vocals. It's actually one of the most well-produced and almost commercial-sounding Lil B songs. Got a Dealership, mid, meets requirements around that area. Very similar to Loyalty Cast and 30 with a Hammer. Again, his 2018 to like a 2018 to like 2021 stuff is pretty mediocre, I will admit, and I love me some Lil B. And mediocre Lil B is like just a good version of like any artist stuff, because they're still good on a kind of technical level. No, well, not on a technical level. You can never talk about technical level with Lil B. It's always creative, but it's just forgettable, a lot of his stuff. Bruno with DePruno, there's a cool song about George Floyd that has a beat switch on that, much longer, like 7 minutes, and it's fine. It would be in like mid or excels in the single category. That's like the only song I'd take out of it, to be fully honest. Again, kind of forgettable. Hoop Life 2, basically a compilation record, basically, and it doesn't go to the Hoop Life 1, but what I will say is it does have some really good Lil B tracks, and does have some really good like solo produced Lil B tracks. Has some pretty good mixing, so I'd put it in excels a single category as somebody's favorite album. Santa is one of his more popular for some reason. Very weird, because Santa is like kind of like the stuff, kind of like a Hoop Life 2 in a way, because it's very long, around 100 songs, no, 90 something. But it does have that Wiz Khalifa remix that he is on with Young L, which is really good. Thank God I'm Based, with the which samples in it, which the Wiz Khalifa song samples that classic EDM song, which he also samples that EDM song on Ross Rapper Live remix on Anthrax, and I think Ross Rapper Live remix is better. But Thank God I'm Based has one of Lil B's best performances, I will admit. The vocal layering is really good, very confident rapping. I'd put Santa in excels a single category. Red Flame After the Flame, kind of more mid. Frozen, excels a single category. Frozen Tape, it's very fun. Very fun. And by the way, I put Red Flame After the Fire and Frozen in those kind of categories because they're not like the same as Loyalty Cast, because they sound very different. It's just much more mediocre. It's like a neutered version of Hunchback of Basedgod, and that's like not one of my favorite Lil B works, so it's kind of... Frozen Tape is really fun though. It feels like him doing like rage stuff. He's not taking himself seriously on that album at all. You can tell from the intro, Patrick Starr. It's funny. It's a funny album, so I'd put in somebody's favorite album. Thrax Kiss, I'd put in basedgod tier. Or S, it's actually really cool. Very weird. He's like, has almost like indie songs. There's a rock song, like synth poppy songs, like some glitch hop songs. Very fun album. Call of Duty Task Force. Call of Duty Task Force would be in here too. Just, it's him catching up. It's kind of like Options, but a better version of Options, where he's catching up, but still like having fun with it. And they're very creative songs on that. Now for the basedgod stuff, some of the instrumental stuff, and all. Choices and Flowers, solid. Same with Tears of God, they're basically the same album. Tears of God, though, has worse mixing, I will admit. They're very beautiful ambient stuff, but they're Rain in England B-sides for the most part. I mean, Choices and Flowers is just literally like his ambient stuff that he raps over just with just the instrumentals. Africanus, put here, it's him going into jazz, and it's one of the weirdest jazz records of all time. And before you're like, Lil B, come on, it's not that. Oh, there's also some jazzy stuff on Call of Duty Task Force, which is pretty weird, especially like given the context of the album, but it does fit. But yeah, no, that song is really really good. And Africanus kind of reminds me of Jazz from Hell by Zappa, in a way that it's very raw, like electronic music, but this one's more inspired by jazz, because Jazz from Hell is not really a jazz record, it's more just an electronic record, though jazz is in the name. But yeah, Africanus there. And Bitch Mob, the album, is probably around here. He does metal on this album quite a bit, and also some other detours, but it's fun. And yeah, it has some good... I Show Speed is super catchy. Mosh Pit was a great single to lead, very explosive. And that's Lil B tiered. For now, Lil B tier list. And also the 855 bass freestyle mixtape. I'd rank it around here or here, because there are some really good on songs that, sure, but you can't really listen to it all in one go. I'm gonna make sure if I'm missing anything. EPs. Oh, Paint. That's not for some reason. Paint, Roses Exodus, kind of like Tears for God and Choices in Flowers, but, you know, much more low-key, but still very nice. They're very nice records. And yeah, that's about it.